All right, we're going to continue on again one more time here. Keep on having to extend the videos on this, which I know some of you guys are excited, some aren't. But what I'm running into is issues like things that I got to fix. I can't work on the oval window right now because I got to finish some stuff on my other car. So I got to go up and down onto the lift, and this is going to be on the lift for a little while. So I don't want to have it disabled on there while I need to fix my other car, which the oval window is going to be coming up pretty soon. I think I'm down to the last couple of codes on that thing, so we're just about fixed. And then I just keep running into other things. So I want to get that all nailed down, and then I can start working on the oval on the lift and get that area all cleaned up, because it's just, there's engines everywhere, parts, and it's just too crowded over there. So we're going to just do a couple more videos on this, and while we're waiting for that to get done. And so I kind of want to see what's underneath here. We don't know what kind of rust there is. So anyway, let's take a look. I'll go ahead and take some of these bolts off. Alright, this might be a problem. There's a dual cylinder system on this. Look how big they are. That's so weird that they're that big. They're bigger than the outriggers. So if these are rusty, that could be a problem. We need to clean those off and take a look at them. It looks like it's just dirt underneath it, pretty clean. I got to clean that up and put some protectant on there, WD-40 or something, just to keep it from the oil, some oil on it, so it won't rust, and hopefully they're not damaged, because that'll be a problem. Well, let's take a look, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Got a lot of rust to clean up on this stuff. Just rusted everywhere. I don't know what the heck's going on with this line. That doesn't look very good either. Looks like it's just probably rusty in the middle here. There's a lot of work to do on this part. Alright, well, stack up the hours and see how we can do. This could be a mess, but hopefully it won't be. We'll just push on anyways. Yeah, look at that. Slightly rusty there. Now we can just ignore that there and just leave it alone. Alright, so the thing that's interesting, I was just thinking about this. Why did they put such big ones on here? And, you know, there is something like you can put an orifice in the line to make it go slower, but if you have a larger cylinder, it's going to go slower, so they don't want the movement to be as fast on the rotation. So the other thing I was looking at is there's this pit here, which I'm going to have to sand that out a bit. And these are one-way cylinders, or one. So if you see here, this is the line going in, and it just goes into the back of that cylinder there. So this is going to be just a dust seal on this one, and so if this rubs against the dust seal, it shouldn't leak. It might, but it shouldn't. It could leak a little bit because there could be some bypass fluid. But what it does is this one pushes out, and then this one, say this one pushes out, and then this one pushes in at the same time through these cable system. How it works is, so this one pushes out, so there's only, at the end of the piston, right here, at the very end of this shaft, there's a piston right here, and that piston is where it, you know, retains the fluid. So the fluid's going to be behind that. So shouldn't be fluid ahead of that. So what it'll do is just go all the way down, and when that one pushes in, it pushes this one out as well. So it just kind of works like that. I don't know if you can kind of understand. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but that shouldn't matter, even though that's there. Shouldn't matter much. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and sand it out. The chrome on these is not too bad, really. This one's really pretty good, and then that one's just got that bad spot, but it's in a, I wish it was like way out here, because then might not use it very much, but it's in the bottom, which is going to make it a little, it's going to tear up the seal. I've had just paint, I've painted these things before and got paint on these cylinders on this part and ruined the seals from that, especially when it's a two-way cylinder. When it has hydraulics, so let's say there was another line, I thought this was one cylinder that ran this, and there's two, which is good. If it had a single cylinder, you would have hydraulic pressure on both sides of the piston, and when it has hydraulic pressure on both sides of the piston, then this part gets hydraulic fluid, and it has to retain that hydraulic fluid. Well, on this one, it only goes behind the piston, so it probably should be okay. It's just a dust seal on this one, that's it. So I don't know if you guys that have done hydraulics, you can explain it better, maybe in a comment. That'd be great for other people that don't understand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I think we're okay, so we'll continue. Oh man, there's a lot of work to do on this. Just cleaning all this off. I use a power washer, clean it all off, and you know, look at how pitted that is. I don't know, these are probably plenty strong. Sand them up and take a look at them, see if I need to put another piece on there or what. I don't know, gotta figure all that out. And then I took all the wires out again on here, because I was just like, I looked at them all, I went, okay, this is where they go. I cleaned up this plug, just gonna rerun this. It's in pretty good shape, and even the sheath around it, the shrink tube or whatever, it's actually not too bad. So I just cleaned some mostly orange paint off, or yellow and orange, and then the wires look pretty good that are in here. So what I can do is I can plug this in to the truck and actually start testing, see what's hot, what isn't, start going through them all and finding out what each one does. In this, there's going to be one of these two is probably hot, maybe both of them, I don't know, that's my guess. Couldn't really tell by how they were hooked up on the other thing, so kind of gave up on that. One of them is going to be to start the engine. I'm thinking like upper and lower controls, I'm not sure, but one's going to be hot, one's going to be to start the engine, one's going to be run the key, ignition key, and whatever the other ones are, we'll have to play that by ear, won't we? And then figure all these out. Shouldn't be hard to do. It's real quick, nice of these guys. SetPower sent me out this fan, kind of cool. Summer's coming up, so it's a cordless fan. It has a battery inside. I think you can leave it plugged in too. It's really quiet, so it's cool for making videos for me. And you can also, if you're interested in something like this, you can click on the link in the description. You know, see if you're interested in it. I have a review on the other channel as well. I'll probably put a link in for that. Help you out if you're interested in one of these. All right, check this out. This is the inside of this, and you can see there was only gray and orange on this, and the outside, and you can see all the yellow and other stuff. So it tells me that they took, that this was probably, like I said, it was originally orange, because what they did is they painted the DTM gray on everything, and then what they did is, before it was ever used, they went ahead and took it apart and then painted everything orange. They didn't just do a quick, you know, respray. They took everything apart That's the only way they could have painted this orange underneath here. Alright, so I'm not going to make this look terrible. I just want to try and replace some of this edge and see how bad that is. So, yeah, I have to go up into the right here, I guess. Whatever that is. That'll be about right here. And then go all the way along there. That's about like that. That's good enough. Yeah. Yep. Put that piece on there. There's a couple holes over here. I don't know what I'm going to do there. I guess I'll just put another piece of metal on there. But I don't want it to look too bad, but I don't want to go crazy on it, that's for sure. Alright, let's get on it. Alright, so just ran a bead along there. I did get, you know, minimal penetration. You can see it went all the way through in some areas, but some areas not. Like right in here a little bit, not quite so much. That's fine for this. You know, this is just a guard. I don't even know why this is made out of. This is like 16 gauge or something crazy. So, anyway. I just use the same thing to patch it with. And then I'm just going to leave the weld in here, so that'll kind of make up for the little bit of voids in the other end. And it's just a cover, so anyway, that'll be fine. I'll figure out what to do here. Alright, well here's where we're at. Went ahead and put a coat of surfacer on here and on here, all these parts, the flat ones, because they're just bigger. You might see a little bit more, so I kind of want them to be a little bit better. You can see how wavy that is. Yeah. So hopefully it'll smooth that out a little. I'm not looking to get it perfect or anything, just one sand, that's it. Whatever it comes out, that's what I'm painting them at. So got our new tube painted right here, and I'll weld that in. I'll do the other one. So that's all going down. This is just a tremendous amount of work here, all this sanding and taking off all this layers of crap. Just takes hours of time. So got a lot of this stuff stripped down. Yeah. So we finally got our buttons. Took a couple months. These I ordered directly from the manufacturer in another country. We know which one that one is. And from Alibaba, if you've ever done that before. These are waterproof buttons. They were normally maybe about $7 each. So if you imagine, and I got a couple of extra because, you know, are they all going to work perfectly? Just in case a couple don't, I can always, I got like, let's see, I got 4 extra ones, right? Smart thinking, right? In case they don't work. But they're about less than $2 each when I ordered them. So 20 of them was like, I don't know, 30 bucks or something like that. I don't know, 35 bucks, I don't remember. And then it almost cost that much to ship them here, so it was still, would have been about 150 bucks plus tax and all the other stuff if I bought them locally, and they probably come from the same place. So anyway, since I ordered semi-volume, that's a good idea sometimes to go there. Alibaba. Also looks like this cable, I should tighten that one up a little bit, so I may just, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. If I'm going to paint all these pulleys, maybe I'll just paint them with some spray cans or something. It doesn't, you can't really see them. Anyway, and these things, should I even paint them? I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. As long as they're not rusted, then that's fine. That's all I care about, really. Because you can't see them. You can see the back side of them a little bit, but not much. Even with all that stuff on here, you really can't see much of anything, because that whole thing covers, I think it covers right here, and then it goes around there. So you see a little bit of that. Maybe I'll do a little bit of painting in there. But I've got all this to strip off. It's a lot of work just getting all that stuff off of there, and then I'm trying to debate here whether I should just take off all of these and paint them off, or should I just leave them on, paint them on in place. I bought another one of these things, and I don't know if it's gonna, hopefully the handle will work. That's, I'm guessing. It was only 10 bucks, so it's worth it if it works. And I could always put it in here, buy some of these ends and do that. I don't know. We shall see on that. Or maybe it was 12 bucks. Alright, so check this out. I was wondering what this thing was, and what it is, I think, is, I guess Ruthmann does their own inspections, and this is an inspection certificate, and it says 2006, I suppose, 12 of 2006. So that's probably the last time this thing was inspected. So in around 2006 it probably operated. So all this damage must have happened. You know, it just must have just sat, you know, didn't meet inspection after that or something, and it sat for a while and then just got rusty, and then kept getting rustier and rustier. I've seen photos of it that Looks like it wasn't this bad, like, I don't know, when it was at Bob's shop, but then it just got worse and worse because it probably sat outside. So anyway, that's that. Alright, well, I got some of the hoses in. Guys, this was at a place called Tool Lots. They have like the worst return policy ever. So if you order the wrong stuff, you got to pay 20% to send it back, but you can't beat their markup. I mean, it's so low. I think I paid, I don't remember how much it was. It wasn't even $10 for this hose. It wasn't even $10. Yeah, it's made in China like most of the stuff is. And, you know, with 2 Swedge number 6 ends on it. I ordered the ones before, I got the wrong ones, the number 8s. That's 8s is like 1/2 inch or something like that, and 6s are 3/8. If there's a whole bunch of different ways to say it, and then the thread sizes and all that, so it's kind of complicated to get the right ones. It took 2 shots, but still, it didn't matter. It was way cheaper than anywhere else I went. What was cool is I just guessed. I said, you know what, how much was this thing? It was like $10 for a hydraulic valve. That is so cheap. You couldn't even order it from China for that. I don't know how they do it. But anyway, remember, this handle's missing. Well, guess what? The handle, and this is my guess just from looking at the pictures, is that this might fit on here, and sure enough it does. So I might either be able to use this, it's hard to say, we will find out later on that, but or I could change out the valve and put this one on. I think it's the wrong thread sizes though for the, I think that's like 1/4 inch pipe, and this is some metric, who knows. So yeah, I got these on. That's how it looks. Kind of a little longer than normal, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. So I just got one just looped on here for now. Got some paint on these both sides. I don't know if it's such. Oh, I filmed it underneath, but I didn't film this either. But at least you can see it done. And yeah, did them a little bit nicer. Put a primer on them. Sanded them once, you know, not much. They're all dented. Who cares? It's all just a work truck. And this is the side. I grafted one of these right here, I guess. That looks alright. Doesn't have big rust holes in it. That's all that matters. So yeah, I'll try the Tool Lots guys again. They're brand new and they made a few mistakes and stuff, but the price, you just can't beat it. So if you ever wondered how to do your hoses, if you have hydraulic hoses on your tractor or whatever, you can buy these conversion ends, and then just need to know what they are, and that's the hard part. So, and then I got these conversion ends. So these were $19.33 each for each one of these just by themselves, because it's a metric thread on the other end. This hose right here costs, I think, $7. Yeah, $7. It's rated at over 4,000 pounds. I couldn't find anything else that was rated that high. You know, I figured that's more than enough. Most of my running pressures on my other lifts are 2,000 pounds, and they max out around there. I think that's the maximum. So the hoses are all rated about the same as this. So I think we'll be fine. So this is how I'm making my hoses. You can see the ends go in like that, and that's a, you know, this was, I think, 30 inches was only $11, I think, for this one. Now they were out of the 60. I need three 60-inch, but they were out of them with this end on them. So I'm waiting for them to get some more in, and you know, that's just so cheap. So if you had a tractor, even if you ordered the wrong ones and had to order them twice like I did and pay the 20% restocking fee and shipping to send it back, you're still ahead, you know, because this cost me, say, 20, 40, 50 bucks for this hose man. This was 150 for a short one like this. For the longer ones, it was more than 200. So it would have been like $1,500 for hoses. This is about, I think, 200 for these ends, I'm thinking, and probably 70. So 300 bucks for all the hoses versus $1,300, $1,500. You tell me. There's a better way to go. Yeah, they make hydraulics in China, you know, and hydraulics work in China just like they do here. So anyway, I mean, the American stuff's probably the better, but who cares when you're talking about that much money on something this thing's probably going to get used, you know, what, at a show or something. It's kind of useless, and I'll tell you why. It only goes up and down and then around. It doesn't articulate out. There's no extend, retract. So if you're up against a wall, you have to move the lift, you know, a whole bunch of different times to be at the right distance from the wall. So it's kind of fun, you know, it's kind of cool, but it was for doing, you know, going up and just doing lights, and that's all it would be good for, parking lot lighting, and most of them are higher than this will reach anyway. So that's why it would be kind of useless to use today, but it is just cool. And then there's this thing. That's just awesome. So the other thing I could do is I'm thinking they were like $15 for each. So like for 30 bucks, I could buy two longer hoses that are like 72 inches. They're like $15, $18 from the same place. So, and I could just put longer ones on, drive the single cab up next to it, you know, sort of like, I'm trying to think, like this, and then just hook it up and then run the outriggers and stuff like that without installing it on the truck to check everything out. That might be a good idea. Worth it for like, what, 40 bucks. I could just buy those things, buy those hoses and do that for temporary. And then I'd know I could lift it up off the ground and then drive the truck underneath it if everything works like the way it was supposed to be done. If I have this valve working, because since I now have a handle for it. And I just was looking at this. I just went, you know, I'm going to guess for 10 bucks, I'm just going to order it and see if it has the right handle. Sure enough, it fits. So that was nice. Yeah, they even charge you for receiving if you go there, or pickup, you know, if you don't want it delivered, because it just costs them money. And I can understand when they're doing stuff at such slim margins, they're trying to just, you know, sell stuff wholesale to the public. Check that out. You know, check out the website Tool Lots, you know, see what they have. You'll be tripping on all the different types of things they have there. And just remember, if you do order something and you have to return it, you're going to have to pay 20% to return it. And, you know, that's just the way it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's like that, if it's defective, but they have warranties on stuff. You just can really read the fine print before you order something. But for the price of some of this stuff, you just can't beat that. You really can't. So yeah, like I said, it's China stuff, and a lot of stuff is. It's actually rated hose, you know, it's not just junk. It's rated, you know, it's got all these ratings on it, so it's got to meet some specifications, so it should be fine. Anyway, all right, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed what we saw so far. There wasn't much action going on here. I just didn't have time to film stuff. It's just, this thing's there's just so much work here. Anyway, look at this. Look at the ground. It's just covered in just rust and stuff, just falling off of this thing. All right, I'll talk to you in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe.